Hey, what's up? This is D. Ray Brinson, and again, we want to thank you for listening to another Stay Woke podcast. Of course, you know we got our man, producer slash co-host, William West, in the building.
Yes.
So you know we in the studio.
We mobile now.
We mobile.
Wherever we feel like we need to record at, we're just gonna set up shop. So that's what we're doing today.
Because we're trying to give the people what they want, man.
Yeah. We gotta move around.
You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to give you more podcasts if we can. You know, we're trying to, just give you more content because we feel like, if we can, we'll do it for you. And that's what we're trying. So today we're going to talk about an artist that I really enjoy that I've been rocking with for a minute. And if y'all know me by now and y'all have listened to me or read the reviews or breakdowns on the sonicbreakdown.com, you know that I really fuck with TDE on some real shit.
Yes. TDE is the truth right now.
I definitely fuck with Absol Control System. That's an album, bruh. That's a good album. I rocks with it. I fucks with SchoolBoyQ. I fucks with J-Rock. I fucks with SZA. I fuck with Isaiah Rashad, Sylvia Demo. If you know about, like I said, if you read any of the reviews on the sonicbreakdown.com, you will know that I praised the Sylvia Demo pretty highly as well. So today we're talking about SchoolBoyQ and BlankFace LP. So this album came out July 8th of this year, 2016, of course, by TDE. Top Dog Entertainment. If you don't know what that stands for, you don't have your ear to the street because they've been doing it for a minute, man. As you know, Kendrick signed to that label, and all of them got hitters. All of them are hitters. They have their place, they have their lane, and they rock in that lane, and they do it. This album, to me, production wise, that's where I want to start. I want to start with production wise. I feel like he definitely stepped up the sophistication of this album, and you feel it from the very beginning with Torch, which is the first track. It has a jazz feel, but really funk based on the bass line from the bass guitar that hits, as well as Anderson .Paak, what already gives you that funk, that gritty kind of soul sound. And well, you heard Malibu, right?
Oh man, have I heard it? I've cruised to it, made love to it.
It's a good album, though.
Man, I love it.
And y'all should read the review that we have on that on the sonicbreakdown.com again. But like I said, the album starts out with Torch, and it has that funky bass line, but it gives you... Q comes in with that gritty gangster, like I don't give a fuck type. Like, it is what it is. This is the streets, and this is how I live, man. Like, I don't give a fuck. And that, if you've ever seen Q's interviews, that's how that nigga is.
I love how he's never lined up. He's never suited up. He ain't never had a fresh haircut in his life.
No, he don't care.
Or when he does interviews, it's when it's like, it's already 1 month in the haircut.
Exactly. So, like...
But do you remember the times when you heard 50 Cent's first album back in the days? That was our, like, prime... youth age, right? Back in high school. That album, I'm not gonna lie, made you feel hard.
Yeah.
Like it was a great stress reliever.
Exactly.
It pushed all the BS aside, and you was like, yo, I'm about this music.
I'm the toughest person in this room right now. Regardless of where you at, who was around you. When you heard that song, you can close your eyes or just be in the zone and be like, I'm the baddest motherfucker right in here. Even though in most situations you probably not. Like, to be real, unless you Debo or Terry Crews.
Get Rich Die Trying did that to me, man. And I like what he's doing on this new album. A huge change from the last one, Oxymoron, right? It's a whole new feel, but still the same SchoolBoyQ, if you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
He still stands alone in the middle of all this new kind of production, concepts. I like what he's doing, and we're probably going to talk about it more. I like what he's doing with the whole concept videos.
Yeah.
Putting them together with the album songs. I love that, man. Just creativity is bubbling, and it's inspiring me. And bringing it back.
The funny thing that I wanna piggyback on is when you brought up 50 Cent, that is you hear and you get that, like you said, that vibe. You get that similar vibe with Q.
Yeah.
That was one of his main influences as a rapper. He said that before, that
Nice.
like he wanted to rap like 50. That's he's like, and people are like, I don't hear it, but I've always heard it. Even back to Habits and Contradictions, the way he rides the beat, the cadence that he chooses to use is very 50 Cent. And when I heard that interview, I was like, it makes sense now. I get it.
It's pretty cool that they actually collaborated on one of 50 Cent's last
Exactly.
mixtapes that he did. And that's actually, I didn't know that, and that just puts everything together. It does bring that feel back. It does bring that vibe.
And
man.
that's what he said. That's what he said. That's what the thing that he liked about 50 is he brought that vibe. Like, man, I can just ride to this and I'm good. Like,
fuck the police.
Yeah.
Fuck school. Fuck drama. Fuck baby mamas.
whatever
fuck being
it is.
broke.
Yeah.
It just gets you out of that.
Whatever
it's the
it is.
opposite of what are you going through.
And he's
It
like,
gets you out, for sure.
exactly. So that's why, like, when you brought up that, it just was to me very interesting and just made all the sense in the world. The other things that I did want to mention is just the myriad of producers actually that they have on the track. From you have Swiss Beats, who has a prominent track on there. You have Metro Boomin, which is a relatively new, not new producer in comparison to the hits, but new to being messed with Q and TDE.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's that to me stood out because TDE messes with TDE in essence of producers and or hit makers. Like Alchemist has produced a song on every track or every album that Schoolboy's ever produced or ever came out with. So when I saw Alchemist on there, I was like, it only makes sense. You've had him on every other one. Why would this be different? And Alchemist is the truth. So it's like, if you can get it, why wouldn't you? Like that. So he's on there as well. You got Southside, you got Cardo. Like I said, Alchemist, DJ Dahi, and Soundwave, which is TDE's. I'm pretty sure that's the in-house producer, right?
Yeah, in-house for a lot of stuff that they've started up with. Yeah,
so
still around.
Those were some of the standout productions, as well as just some of the features. Of course, you got Kanye West with that part. You got Jadakiss on Groovy Tony. That's a great song. Like Schoolboy and Jada, the way they ride off each other in that manner, and to the beat, it's so gangster, it's so hood, it's so gritty. And
when you told me that he was actually on that song and he was added on that song, man, it's just like it opened up my eyes. Like I gotta listen to this. I gotta listen to this album. Jadakiss is one of my top 5 dead or alive, man, for sure.
Yeah, for real,
man.
Underrated all time.
I like the crazy, just random collaborations on this album.
Yeah, to me,
and
like
it works. It's so good,
and it works. And I do also want to touch on the theme of BlankFace and how I, by listening to this album over and over and over again, getting prepared for writing the review, one of the things that I thought about, as in why he would name it BlankFace and what the concept of the album was, it came up to two things for me. One is that as minorities, as black men, we live in a society where we're faced with so much trials and tribulations all the time that you basically become numb to like just life, that you're expressionless, which gives you a blank face. Like it's like, I'm just living. I'm just doing what I got to do to make it.
Going through the motions.
Yeah, I'm just going through the motions. And so it doesn't mean I'm happy. Doesn't mean I'm sad. It's just like, I'm just here. And that's a result of what I've been through. That's how I took it, based on the lyrics, the production, the feel, the vibe. And another, I guess, version or concept that I took from it as well is when I saw the videos. There's a 3-part video that came out prior. Actually, well, I only knew about 2 before the album came out, to be honest. So I believe all 3 came out prior to the album, but I only saw 2. I heard the album, and then I saw the 3rd part. But that really brought light to the situation as well, and made me come up with another conclusion as well, is that in the eyes of society, when it comes to blacks and minorities, regardless of if you did the crime or not, if you fit the description, we're gonna take you in. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna get the responsibility of it, just because of the environment that you're in. That might not even be a result. Like, to a certain extent, you can't. If you were born in the ghetto, or you were born in the hood, you were born in the streets, you were born in a difficult situation, the only way out of it is being lucky
Very
or
true.
getting an opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you don't get either of those, but then you get viewed as an outcast, so then when things happen, you just automatically assumed as doing it. Like, how do you win that situation? And so basically, we all have blank faces because we all can get picked out for doing somebody else's crime,
Yep.
because we all look the same in the eyes of
Catch 22,
society.
man. Big time.
And what made me get that idea is in the video, just Q, Traffic, and TF got arrested and went to prison, and basically they ain't do it, or it appears that they didn't do it, because that scene on part 2, I believe, where the dudes are buying the stuff at the mall or at the store. Q's coming in buying with a pink backpack, saying he ain't buying nothing else because that's for a daughter. So if he was spending the bread, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't seem like he got it, you know what I'm saying? So, but they all got arrested for it. So that's where that interpretation also came into play. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. I haven't talked to Q, so Q, if you out there, give a brother a holla and say, yeah, you know what I'm saying, if I'm on point or if I'm dead off. But again, I got to listen to the album more, and in my review that I write for thesonicbreakdown.com will be way more in depth, and maybe I'll change that opinion about why I think the album's called that way. You know, with more growth and understanding of albums, you learn different things and you get different perspectives on it. Even to this day, when I listen to Pimp a Butterfly, even Good Kid, Mad City, there's different aspects and different viewpoints that I see on it that I didn't see prior. So even going back to Illmatic with Nas.
And that's just the thing. It's actually a good thing for an artist to keep people like me and you guessing or thinking. Keeps that art alive too. You keep on talking about it. You don't even know what it is, what it could be, but that's the art of it. That's all part of.
Yeah, it's part of your interpretation.
It's a puzzle in itself, but go ahead and interpret yourself, because that's why the art is put out that way, for you to consume it, eat it, and then you take it as you want it, and you can actually match it up to your own life if you want to.
That's real.
When I listen to SchoolBoyQ, man, it puts all the drama aside, and I want to smash everything.
Yep, like, fuck it, I don't care. I don't care, bro.
Take me now. I'm ready to die.
Like,
Biggie did that to me. Biggie did that to me too. I'm ready to die. Like, it's
fuck
just
it,
like,
let's go.
Let's go, man. I'm ready. Drama, the hood, crack sales, all that shit, man. I'm for it.
It's like, so like,
I'm about that life.
that's another thing that I took from it is that I wanted to bring up as well is besides the meaning of blank face, or the way that I interpret it, I wanted to also comment on just the last part, part 3, because I think that was well done, well shot. But the part where it was him and his daughter walking, and it went transformed from like being the house to a prison, and juxtaposing between back and forth between being a prison. Like, I just thought that was tastefully done, because of the imagery that it brought. As in, some of these celebrities do feel like they're a prisoner in their own homes, because if you go out, you're gonna get caught doing something, or it will appear you're doing something, or people are gonna make stories about you doing something. But at the same time, is that really as bad as a real prison? Let's be real. And then there's other cats out there that are in real prison for things that shouldn't be classified. They shouldn't be in jail for that long, or even period. Like, so that dichotomy was interesting, as well as the aspect of his daughter walking him to the school bus,
Yeah, I like
and him
that.
getting in and is taking him to jail. Like, because in essence, when you make those decisions that you know have the possibility of getting you in jail, and you have kids, you're basically consciously saying, walk me to the jail bus, because I know this is a possibility, but I'm gonna take this or make this decision anyways. But nobody sees it that way. So I thought that was an interesting take on maybe giving light to that you can't necessarily give with words at sometimes, you
You just
know.
gotta look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like what he did right there. Like, 'cause I remember we were just chilling and just drinking, and I pointed that out. I was like, man, we didn't have any sound on too at the time. It's
Exactly.
just like you looking at it as just straight pictures, and you're like, it's a whole reverse right there. His daughter's taking him on a bus, and his bus is going to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Yeah.
I like that, man. I mean, call it what you want, you call it deep, but I like what he did right there.
That's what I'm saying, and I just think that on this album, just like in that video, I feel like artistically he feels the freedom because of the success of his last album, as well as the capriciousness to feel like he can do what he wants. You know what I'm saying?
And I came just from the beginning. I rock with everybody from TDE.
Me too. There's nobody in
with
TDE
everybody.
that I don't like.
And I love how everybody has their own style.
Yeah, Absol is way different than J Rock and Q.
Yeah.
Like to me, Q and J Rock are the closest in style, but they still have their own lanes. Like, and that them niggas is gangster. Like,
And when it comes to Q has his own unique
play more.
cadence and play of words and whatnot.
Yeah, than
You-
J Rock.
And you might look at him as just another Southern rapper or a West Coast gangster rapper, whatever it may be, because he's coming off that way. But I really feel like this time, I think the joke's on us because I first looked at him as one of, just like what I explained, as a gangster rapper. He doesn't go hard with the metaphors, blah 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 blah. He ain't killing it lyrically, but he does. And on this album, I feel like he's showing that he can do it all.
Yeah, that he's
Bottom line,
that he's not just that he can't just rap. That he has musical.
That he's
Like he hears he's. I feel like, and that's also what I feel like in this album compared to Oxymoron. Is he's feeling the music, and like really like understanding how to not necessarily change his cadence or change his style, but understands when to get in those pockets and when to feel it, and the type of production that will accentuate certain vibes. And just you see the growth in that sense. You see the growth and the evolution, and that the more musical quality of the album.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that he's taking more consciousness to it, but maybe that he's understanding it better, just with time, with experience. That's and you want to see that from your artist growth, and that's the thing that I brought up with Rihanna's Anti album. I heard the growth in the production choice as well as the use of her voice. And I want to say, in comparison, it's kind of like the same thing, except that he's not singing, he's rapping. But the musical quality, he's elevated in this.
And she nastier now, too. I like that. Shout out to Rihanna.
Hey, she a bad girl, though. I ain't gonna lie.
But bottom line, when you say TDE, it's a quality artist. So don't ever get that mixed up. Don't ever get that twisted with what's out there right now, or if any of these artists go pop, or they're being played on the radio, or they're being played to the masses. TDE equals high caliber. TDE equals high quality music, man.
Yeah. And like I said, to me, the concept on this album was well done. The feel, the vibe, the jazziness, the qualities of it. I like the samples that they used. It has a very 60s, 70s vibe. And that type of production quality. It has I want to say a darker quality of it, but with still like a glimpse of happy, energetic spots throughout the album. One of the ones that was a surprise to me was Whatever You Want with Candace Paye. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. But that was a more popish type of production type of song that I wouldn't expect, but it worked. Like, and I appreciate his exploration as well in the sound, the type of sound that he's using, as well as Overtime with Miguel and Justine Skye. I thought that was an interesting track too. But I'll say my favorite tracks, or a couple of my favorite tracks on here, are the Tokino's 2. By Any Means, Overtime is dope. Ride Out with Vince Staples, I really like. Groovy Tony with Jada Kiss. I enjoy the second half where they do the breakdown and have it switch to Eddie Kane because that is like that's a nice track. Definitely a nice track. Gets you nice a vibe to it. So that's how I feel about Schoolboy Q's album, but it's early.
And I haven't gotten the album yet, but right after this, I'm getting it, and I'm gonna ride around in my car because that's how I listen to albums. I just ride around, man. Just you know what I'm saying. I'll even go up the coast on my days off, man. And just ride around to a full album, man. And that's how I give it the full review, the car test, the old school car test, man. But thank you for putting me onto this, and everybody needs to get this, man. This is one of those must-haves. Just like you gotta have a must-have DVD, must-have movie. This is a must-have in your catalog, man. He did a great job on this album.
And before we end the Schoolboy Q discussion,
Uh-huh.
I have to bring up that part remix with Black Hippie.
Oh, you talking about that line?
I have to bring it up, man. I have to bring up that line.
Do you have it quoted or
No, but I'm gonna paraphrase because
go for it, man? It's a hard line. It's a hard song. Go ahead.
is everybody on there does well. J Rock has a nice verse. Kendrick, Absol, like they all kill it. And I love how Absol like kind of foreshadows and sets you up. Like,
And this is the Black Hippie remix.
yeah, this is the Black Hippie remix, not the one with Kanye, not the original.
So it's only TDE.
Yeah, and like I said, they all kill it. But again, I like how Absol prefaced and foreshadowed that Q was coming with something, and so you kind of get that feeling, and they kind of make it sound as if the track's over, and Q was like, let me get on here one time, basically, has his verse, and he's going in, and then there's a line towards the end of the track where he brings up his very blunt, truthful, honest, unfiltered opinion about the Alton Sterling shooting, and
Just everything that's going on right now in period.
and yeah, he summed it up, but he definitely quoted or referenced that incident and how it was viewed, shot, and distributed to the masses, and how he thought real cats, real riders would have acted in that situation, and if that was reversed. And I thought it was very, I thought it was very conscious of him and very truthful, because I do believe that the situation would have been different if it were that same situation and take out people with badges and just regular people. I'm not saying that I condone or agree with his solution and what they should have did in his opinion, but I do see the difference and how that difference is only changed by the job title, and that's scary. And I think that was what he was aiming for, and I think it shows again that these cats aren't as not aware about what's going on in the world and not willing to step up and speak about it. And that takes bravery. That takes because it can mess with their money. It can mess with their advertising. It can mess with their brand. All these things are factors. Big business, big companies don't necessarily like that level of controversy when it comes to racial issues. They'll take a lot of other controversial issues because, yeah, controversy does keep your name out there, but there's a limit. And race is usually on that other side of the limit. So him to have that courage to do that, I just commend him and say,
salute.
Keep speaking that truth. And I think it was a dope line. I'm going to be real.
How did it go again?
You got to listen. Do your research. Do your research, y'all. Y'all got to listen to the track. I can't give it all to you.
Yeah.
But like for real, I think it's worth the listen, and I don't want to do it injustice because it needs to be taken into context with the previous and line and the whole verse.
Yeah.
To give it the real justice it deserves.
I agree.
So, like I said, I wanted to end with that part because I thought it was worth that
part.
Exactly. Black hippie. Anyways, but I also did want to bring up Vic Mensa and his album that came out, I want to say in June 3rd, and it goes. There's a lot going on. It was a short. It felt short because of the number of tracks. It's only 7 tracks, and it's only 30 minutes long to listen from front to back. About 33 minutes approximately. It starts out with Destiny, 16 Shots. 16 Shots is a I like that track. And it also shows the level of consciousness that he's having. And that's something that I am noticing that I do want to bring up is even on the Major Keys album, which I'll touch on a little bit later on in the podcast, there's a lot of cats that haven't been conscious or shown that level of consciousness before, bringing that up now. Like Big Sean, Holy Keys brings it up about police brutality and things of that nature. And I just like the fact, the level of attention that they're all devoting to it, because that keeps people conscious. And it doesn't make it a fad, because if we ever do want to affect change and make real change, we have to continuously fight these fights. And I'm not saying in a literal manner of being violent, but we have to fight these fights and try to be productive and try to, progress, so that we all are treated equally and fairly, in all eyes, from cops' perspectives and from patrons of cops or citizens. To try to have a better world to live in. Like, I don't have kids, but when I do, I don't want my kids to live in the world that we currently are living in. So again, 16 Shots takes into account some of those things that we're just talking about. Shades of Blue, I really, really, really enjoy Shades of Blue. Shades of Blue touches on police brutality as well, and that's where it's talking about, like, the shades of blue. Like, where is the line at? Where does that line stop from being blue to just being like a killer in certain situations? Not all. There are good cops. There are bad cops. There are good people. There are bad people. It's just nature. But at the same time, it's getting to the point where that number is surpassing just average, just incidents. Like, it's statistically, it's statistically an anomaly for that to occur at that rate. So let's not be foolish and be naive and to believe that there isn't other components involved into it.
Stay woke.
But we have to be aware, and like I said, we have to continue to be pushing for change and doing our best to do that. And again, I want to preach and not preach, but just say, like, let's make it positive and not violent, because violence is a solution, but it's not the only one. So there's other ways to get things done, affecting people economically, affecting them not physically but emotionally, by letting them see the damage that it's causing people, letting them be aware of how it's affecting other people, and hoping that their hearts will kick in and understand, like, would you ever want to live in that type of world where you got to be worrying about the same things that these people have to live with? You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep it at that manner. But Shades of Blue, again, going back to that track, it's a very good song. One of the lines that I quote pretty consistently that, like, really hit me was when he says, he's like, we don't spend $1 on the movement, but we spend $1 on that movement. Basically talking about, we don't spend money on trying to affect change and doing change, but we'll go to that strip club, go to the club, and throw that money out there like it's nothing. But, so, like, where's our priorities at? And with any change and any significant change that we ever want to occur or ever want to happen, it's going to come with sacrifice. And if that means sacrificing spending dollars at a strip club, to spend dollars at your community, on your community, or for your community, or for your children's to have a better life, then that's a priority that you have to make in order for that to happen. And again, I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to say I'm better or anything like that. Like, because also a line after that is we all have room for improvement. And so that's why I like that line, because those are the 3 lines in succession. So, like, that we all have room to do better. And, you know what I'm saying? I believe if we try every day to just do better, things will get better. And so that's a line, like I said, that stuck with me because I felt like it's something that I can try to live and strive by. Again, I'm nowhere near perfect. I've been writing enough reviews as I should be. I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Straight up.
Like, but hey,
That's the real.
yeah, that's the real. Like, so I got work to do too. Yeah. But so I think that's worth an album worth checking out. And he does get into more in depth about some introspective things that he's been going through. So it's definitely worth to check out. Liquor Locker, it was alright to me. I do like My New Bay. That beat, the chorus is kind of catchy. I wasn't feeling it at first, but after a couple listens, it started to grow on me.
Is it about a girl? Is it about a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. You in love.
Yeah. What? But anyways, so that's the Big Mensa.
Catch him off guard over
I was like, what? So I think, that's worth listening to. Again, I definitely think you should check out that SchoolBoyQ. The Vic Mensa, there's a lot going on. And I just heard Major Keys maybe like 3 times because it just came out like yesterday. So I think so far what I've heard, I like it. 3, 4, and 5, basically Nas album done, Holy Keys, and Jerome's interlude. That is the greatest part of that album. Those 3 songs right there is enough for me to say I like the album. Just hands down. Kendrick has a great verse. He's spitting. Big Sean has a nice verse as well. Nas's verse on Nas' album done. I hope he's not lying, getting my mouth ready for some hash and not give it to me because he's gonna be like, I don't have an album. Like, I hope when he said that, like, he really has an album.
I'm still bumping "Life Is Good."
Exactly.
Man.
Like,
"Life Is Good" is "Life Is Good."
It's a good album. Like,
it makes you feel like, okay, life is good. There's no rush.
I hope, but
we need another.
Yeah, if he just said in that album, in that track, that he finished an album. Like, so my thing is like, bruh, don't.
Where is that?
Exactly.
Where
like, come on, man. Give it. If you want to say you gonna give us an album, give it to me. Like, cause I gotta hear it.
Nas, we know you're better than Jigga. Nas, we know you're better than Jay-Z.
Ether all day.
Drop that album.
Ether all day.
Nas over everything. Coming from my lips, Nas over everything.
Unless Jay-Z you trying to fuck with us, like we'll take some endorsements. I ain't gonna lie, like
sign me to Rock Nation, please.
But because we do have Tidal and Apple Music. We're not picking sides. I have both. I'm gonna be real because I want that good quality Tidal has, but I need all the music that Apple has too. So like I use both. But Apple, iTunes, Apple Store, Apple Music,
holla at us.
Tidal, holla. But Major Keys, like I said, those 3 tracks alone, Nas album done with Nas, of course.
I'm impressed.
Holy Keys with Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, and Betty Wright. I want to say, is Kendrick goes in. Big Sean has a real nice verse too. Like, don't get me wrong, if Kendrick didn't go in as hard as he did, you might be talking about Big Sean's verse because, like I said, Big Sean surprised me on the level of introspect and socially awareness in what's going on that he was.
There's always controversy when Big Sean and Kendrick's on the same track, right? Ever since Control.
Yeah.
Ever since Control, like, right? It's like, who has the better verse?
Kendrick didn't, but anyways. So that's a good track, and then Jerome's interlude. That track, I fucks with. Like that. That's a good album. All right, that's
Cold World.
Yeah, that's it. So, and Kendrick and J. Cole, I'm talking to you 2 motherfuckers too. Like, give us that album that you said you're gonna do. The Kendrick J. Cole album. We waiting for it. And you know what? While I'm out here just ranting and shit.
You gotta calm down. You gotta calm down.
Ranting and shit. Absol, when's the album coming out? Isaiah Rashad, I'm just calling motherfuckers out. When's that album coming out? Come on, bruh. I'm waiting for them too. Like Absol, I fucks with you. I fucks with you. I'm waiting for that one. I'm waiting for you, Isaiah Rashad. I'm waiting for another album. You know, it's been Sylvia came out in 2014. Come on, bro. It's 2016. I'm waiting. So I appreciate it. Schoolboy, for you giving us an album.
I'm sorry.
Hey, if you're going to endorse this, I'm sorry. I apologize. No, I'm just saying, fuck that. That's how I feel. But anyways, again, I want to say thank you to everybody that's listening. I've been drinking some of this juice. It's very strong.
That homemade concoction that you be making.
Yeah, it has a weird taste, but it gets the job done. But anyways.
The one-armed bartender.
We going to talk about that in another podcast.
The one-armed bartender over here. He injured y'all.
And that's another thing.
Man down. Pimp down.
But I appreciate everybody listening to another Say Woke podcast. Keep on rocking with us. For reals, I do appreciate it. Give us some likes. Give us some love. Leave us a comment on iTunes. You know, get our stars up. You know, we got a couple on there now. If you can give us some more, we really appreciate it. You know, comment on the sonicbreakdown.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, everywhere. You know, also that donation page. There's a tab on the sonicbreakdown.com. We appreciate donations. It helps keeps this thing going. Allow us to provide you the quality of content and try to improve it the best we can. You know, the more you give, the more we can improve.
Donations will also be going to my man needing a cast and also surgery on his shoulder because he's playing hoop and getting hurt, man. He's hurt right now, y'all. He's hurt.
Oh, yeah. So on some real, though, I do need to get a shoulder surgery. So that might slow down the quality or not the quality, but the number of reviews that I can write. I'll still do the podcast because that's something I can do
Is it your writing hand?
as I'm healing.
Is it your writing hand or is this your good hand?
No, it's my other side, but
All right, cool.
but it's hard to type with just one hand. It's slow.
Yeah,
That's a slow process.
You need to hold down that paper with your face.
So, and also on some real, we're looking for advertising for a pre-roll, mid-roll for the podcast. So let us know.
Leave me alone.
My shoulder hurts, guys.
Oh, man.
No, but again, thanks for working with us. And we out.